What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the B3 Podcast. I'm your host, Brett. I got Matt GPT and Tanner, the comeback kid. We have our show partners, Elite Nutrition. Check them out at EliteNutritionOmaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout or go to the store in Omaha or Lincoln, yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
And 10% off. We also have Rosewood Block. They make the best cutting boards and barbecue, fully customizable. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off. And then go to D&D Beef and get some beef for your cutting board. They're local to Omaha, but they ship nationwide. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off there also. And Omaha Barbell, the real Midwest mecca of week passes.
I've been handing some out.
Hey, College World Series is in town, you know. To the dozens of fans out there, if you're in town for the College World Series, you can stop in and get a week pass.
True. That started yesterday?
Yep, that started yesterday. They got the old banana ball tonight in Lincoln. Savannah Bananas are in town, going down to that.
Oh, that's weird that they did it at the College World Series time.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll affect them or not.
I don't know.
They did well. I think they sold out Haymarket on Thursday, but no College World Series was happening yet.
Is it supposed to rain?
I think it's supposed to rain today, but not tonight, I think. But I could be wrong.
I mean, the College World Series started, so we need thunderstorms.
Yeah.
We need thunderstorms and extreme heat.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms, extreme heat, and tornado warnings.
I'm sure people come here and they're like, what the fuck is Nebraska?
Yeah. We were just talking. I put up that survey question of your favorite lift between hip thruster with direct weird eye contact, adductor, abductor with weird eye contact, pull aparts, and pistol squats with the Bosu ball. And hip thruster with weird eye contact is winning by a large percentage.
So pistol squats with the Bosu ball. You're standing on the Bosu ball doing a pistol squat? That sounds impossible.
I used to be able to do it with the flat side down. I never did it with the round side down. You know the Bosu stands for both sides up. Did you know that?
No.
I did not.
Yeah, both sides up. You're welcome. We're here to educate.
Interesting.
So, but pistol squats in general suck.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Tanner,
Can you do a pistol squat?
No.
probably not anymore. I used to be able to.
I used to be able to do a lot of them.
No.
Yeah, I could never do it with my left leg very well though.
The good thing about having done CrossFit in my life is that you can do some random stupid shit. So
We had a friend we used to train with that was like an Olympic caliber, like pole vaulter, and he could be sitting on the floor and just plant his foot and stand up. Like from just a dead, like on the floor.
Yeah.
That was always really impressive. But he could also hang on a pull-up bar and then pull his legs up and do like those windshield wipers where you just slowly turn your body like side to side with your legs up. But he pole vaulted, so it made sense.
True. That's that motion.
it is funny when you see like the men's Olympic ring people and all the shit they can do. You're just like, how is that human?
Like, not only are they strong, but like their muscular control just through the fucking roof.
I mean, they'll just like get up.
Cross, like, fuck off.
Well, it's funny because like in CrossFit, there's a thing like a muscle up.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like something that you like strive to get.
Yeah.
And these guys are like, that's how you get on the rings. Like,
right. That's just,
it's just life.
I just always think of old school where the guy's got the cigarette and he's like, lock it out. Just smoking the whole time.
And they'll freaking like get up there and like do like push-ups and like
with their
like,
feet planked out. Yeah.
It
just on air.
Push-ups on air. And then they'll go into like an iron cross in a push-up position.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you guys are psycho.
Yeah. I'm just always like, wait till that shoulder gives out, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, pound for pound, they're probably one of the strongest people.
Oh, I think gymnasts across the board, pound for pound, the strongest people in the world.
Yeah.
By far. Just all overall muscle control and what they can do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what was that after the Olympics with Shawn Johnson where she was doing those commercials for something? She was in her house. She was just like walking around the whole house on her hands, like doing stuff. And I was like walking like on furniture and like, doing like, yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Speaking of talented people, we're going to talk about stupid people. Because
stupid people are talented?
No, but people give them credit. Like all these like fitness influencers, like, did you see that story I shared the other day where the guy said that, which is not the first time I've heard it, that deadlifting, if you're not a powerlifter, you shouldn't deadlift. Mm-hmm. As he's doing RDL standing on a bench. And this guy's like serious. And I don't know shit about him. Somebody at the gym told me about him and said that people give him like credibility because he trains like some pro athletes.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you to anybody out there, training pro athletes does not mean anything. Most of those people are so gifted, like it doesn't. Right. If you ever look at a lot of pro athletes, their workouts are just like stupid because they're like good at stuff. They're just like naturally good. That's why, in my opinion, when people see like a Saquon Barkley or like James Harrison, somebody who's like legitimately strong, I think Jalen Hurts is a pretty strong guy too.
Yeah.
They're like so wowed by it because the rest of the like pro athletes don't really work out like that because they don't have to. And I shouldn't say they don't have to, but they're just so gifted.
Kevin Durant, when he went to the NBA, they had something similar to
their
combine.
Yeah.
And so, but their bench is 185.
I think it's 130. No, it is 185.
And he couldn't do it once. Like he unracked it and just got immediately stapled.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back in the day, you'd hear stories about like Nate Newton and some of those guys that played for the offensive line for the Cowboys, like bench pressing like 700 pounds, like shit like that. But I don't give you credibility if you tell me you train pro athletes. That doesn't mean anything to me because I've been around this sport long enough that it does. Even like Dave Tollefson, Dave's freaky strong. Like Dave squatted like 700 in college. Like that's impressive, especially because Dave's not like a giant like stuck. I mean, Dave's a big dude.
Yeah.
But I would never think he squatted 700.
Yeah.
Based on other people, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's just like their mentality is different. Like it's just
and honestly, you don't have to be strong to be a like freak athlete. Sometimes it's just like I feel like those trainers, the job is just not to fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're basically a lot of times, especially in season, you're just doing like volume work.
You just want to keep them healthy.
Yeah, keep their joints healthy and shit like that. And
and I've tried to find the book. I can't find it, but it was like one of the old Russian manuals. But essentially, like they did a study across thousands of athletes across hundreds of sports, trying to figure out like what's the minimum you need to be able to do to be elite level in the sport, and then where do those returns stop? And so like the one I remember reading about was like Olympic level, elite level shot put, right? Once you squat 600 pounds, there is virtually no improvement in your shot put for squatting more.
Okay.
So like you hit 600, you don't need to get any stronger. And you do that across a myriad of lifts. And then at some point, like you've met the minimum in strength. And then the only thing that gets you better is doing the sport.
Technique.
Yeah, is technique and improving that and stuff. And that's where I think one of the things with like I think the intelligent athletes know that. Like the good trainers do that. They keep them at that threshold, keep them healthy, and then they have sport coaches that like get them doing that sport to get better and or to stay at their level.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there has to be a baseline. Like you can watch, like we watch college football, you watch sports, and you can tell, like the kid who's like the kid who is good, but you can tell he's just not athletically gifted enough.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's in the right spot. He's just always a half step behind, or he's a few inches too short, or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, there has to be a baseline.
Yeah.
But then once you hit that baseline, it just has to be just raw talent.
Yeah. Then you have to do the sport. I mean, like if you want to be an NFL lineman, I'd imagine that if you bench 225 and you squat 350, like you are subpar. Even if you are the best athlete on the field.
Yeah, you're gonna get your ass. You're gonna get rolled
because you're not meeting the minimum of this strength requirement.
Yeah.
But then once you squat 600 and you bench, we'll say 500, like cool. You don't need to be any stronger than that.
Yeah.
You can do all the things that you need to. Then being the athlete and having the athleticism gets you better.
Now, I wonder if they kept that study and said, you squat 600, you're throwing, and this is probably not right, but you're throwing like 60 feet in the shot. Mm-hmm. But now your technique and your strength have matched. Now, do you need to bring your strength up to bring, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because then how do you get like there's those old stories of like Louis Simmons worked with like Olympic sprinters. He'd bring him in and people were like, oh, did you run him? He goes, I'm not a track coach. I don't run him. Mm-hmm. He goes, but I had him box squatting and we did this and this. So he obviously pushed their limits. Mm-hmm. So did he push them past that? So then did he bring their strength up and then it brought their numbers up? Because he'd be like, well, I cut 2/10 off their time.
What I would reading into the book and kind of making an assumption is that he was bringing them up to the actual minimum. So you
think they were below the minimum?
I think they were below the peak minimum for strength. So they just weren't
For elite
levels, right? And stuff. And so like he brought their strength up to that minimum level. And then so they were able to get that big return. But then once you start to go beyond that level, it just takes so much more work and you have to focus so much more on getting stronger that it takes away from your work capacity at the sport.
It's like a law of diminishing return.
And so like you only have so many units of work you can put in a week. And to get incrementally stronger, you have to take away from the sport performance and focus on the strength.
That makes sense.
Well, it's kind of like Dave Taylor said, like it's like an audio mixer. You know, if one comes up, you have to bring one down, you know, to make it all work out.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be pure strength, your endurance is going to come down. But
you can't just put them all up.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good.
And it's like I've always tell people, like even like clients, like you look at calories like a glass of water. You know, I mean, there's only so much in there, like when they start their workout. So, like I always have people start with obviously their weight stuff, do cardio afterwards, because like I said, I want all your energy for the hardest events first, because walking on the treadmill does not take a whole lot of like neuromuscular demand and muscle demand necessarily.
Well, and actually doing strenuous cardio like before or after lifting's like super counterproductive.
That's what I'm saying. It takes away from that glass of water that you need for your squat workout that day.
Well, I'm just saying it's counterproductive for your body.
Oh,
Because like you can walk. I mean, that's not strenuous cardio.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to walk for like 3 minutes before you squat, no, that's different.
Yeah.
I just mean if you're going to do your full on, like you're doing like 75 hard,
right,
and you're going to do your 45-minute ruck and then come and do your weight train. Like,
yeah, if you're going to do
kind of an ass backwards way to do it.
Do your strength training and then 10 100-meter sprints. You do your strength training and then immediately go to your 10 100-meter sprints. Bad.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what you're getting at, like something extraneous like that.
Well, because you're like everything lifting, right, makes little things big. Like amino acids turn into protein, glucose turns into glycogen, and then cardio, and then
penis. Huh? My dick doesn't get bigger when I lift. It just is like, meh.
And then it increases your muscle protein synthesis, while cardio does the exact opposite. Like it makes big things small, takes protein and turns it into amino acids.
That's why I do cardio.
Takes glycogen and turns it into glucose, and it slows your muscle protein synthesis. So for the cardio event, because you need energy. So doing those like back to back doesn't make any sense. Walking's fine. I mean,
every 10 pounds is a quarter inch, by the way.
Yeah.
Got to lose a lot of weight.
But yeah, so back on that, there's so much, people have talked about this forever, and there's just so much like bad information out there. And just because somebody trains somebody, and somebody doesn't have to be the greatest to ever do anything to have information and be knowledgeable. Like I was talking to some of the guys here, they're like, I'll put them in like a younger group of some of these new lifters. And we were talking about like some like meets and shit like we went and did, and like, like tearing pecs and tearing stuff like that. And they're like, man, that's like, you guys are like such old heads in the sport. I'm like, yeah, we've been around and seen a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we've tried a lot. We didn't have like everybody, we obviously had good information, but we did a lot of things just to see what would do.
Right, because you didn't have access, like easy access to the information. And most of what you had came from Muscular Development, like the magazine, right? And so it's like you read the articles that are in there and they're just like these overinflated workouts and like do this and do that. And it's
Muscular Development was the best because the back half of the magazine was just steroid protocols. Do you remember that?
They were like, yeah, and like legit, they sold like, what were they, pro hormones and stuff? And
then I don't know if something changed where they couldn't advertise that stuff more, and the magazine got dramatically smaller. But I had a kid I started working with, actually, the kids you sent me.
Yeah.
And he was asking me about,
steroids?
Bodybuilding versus powerlifting. And I was like, dude, I think almost everybody starts out doing bodybuilding because that's all we know how to do. Everybody starts out doing
fundamentally, like it just makes more sense.
Yeah. Everybody starts out doing like, oh man, I did like 4 sets of 10 on this, and I did this and this. You know what I mean? No one's like, their first day, they're like, I hit a solid double on bench today. Like,
yep.
But maybe you did like 4 sets of 10 and then got crushed on a bench with somebody.
Yeah.
And I said it builds such a good base.
Bodybuilding?
Well,
it teaches you how to lift.
Yeah. It teaches you how to lift, and it's just like, it's usually light enough you're not going to get hurt. And you just build like a massive base. You learn like your neuromuscular response. You learn like your proprioception, like where things are, how things should feel. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not heavy enough that you're cheating the lifts to do something stupid.
And you get both gains. Like when you first start, like the newbie gains are real, right? Like you start and you get bigger muscles and you get stronger. And you're like, fuck yeah, bro.
And even if you're 40 and you decide you've been doing some, just avid, but you want to do some powerlifting, you're going to get beginner gains, even in the powerlifting thing.
Yeah.
But with any of that, it's how long are you going to stay around when all those slow down? That's how you find out who really likes to lift.
Jump ship.
But yeah, just because you're online and you have a degree, that's the other thing too. That's the other advertisements guy who's got like a degree in like kinesiology. I don't care. I know so many people who have degrees that are idiots.
I wish you couldn't see my eyes roll, but I'm about fucking done with degrees.
Yeah, and like the guy
I have one too. Like, who cares?
Yeah. I have an associate in computer support. So
that's why you're our tech guy.
Yeah, I'm the show IT guy here. And I'm not saying that I know everything. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn that I know everything, but I've at least conversed with intelligent people.
Well,
and if you're trying to, usually what tips me off is if you're trying to like act like you just invented something, like you're going to say something completely outrageous. And I know Ober said it too about if you don't powerlift, you shouldn't deadlift. A deadlift is the most, and here's what it is: not a regular conventional and not a sumo. Actually, a modified sumo is a deadlift that everyone will use their entire life because that's how you pick things up.
Yep.
You widen your base out a little bit so you can squat down and grab between your legs and pick shit up. So anybody that's going to tell me that deadlifting is pointless if you're not competitively powerlifting is that right there, to me, you're an idiot.
So it's a problem with the internet, right?
Yeah,
it's a problem with social media. And this is actually
the internet.
Fun fact.
Did you say you're the problem with the internet?
He said there's nothing wrong with the internet.
Yeah, however you want to interpret it.
Fun fact, 57% of the
Statistics are all made up.
of the things that are posted on the internet now are done by bots.
57%. Did a bot put that out there?
Probably.
Because it's probably like 70%. And the bot's like, we need to come in low on this deal.
But it's just they have to say wild shit, right? And then you have to do dumb shit
Yeah,
for
you say
people to
wild
follow.
shit to get attention.
Yep. And then you do dumb shit to get more attention, right? So wild shit you don't need to deadlift, right? And it's not really that wild. It's just controversial, especially in powerlifting, lifting communities. Then you're going to go and do stupid freaking RDLs on a bench. Is there a need to do that? No, there's not a need to stand on a bench and do an RDL.
No, and if we want to be real about it, the lift that you could probably get rid of is bench.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're 100% right, but that's blasphemy.
I know, but you know what I mean. If you want to talk about, if you want to talk about like, unless you're powerlifting, because a bench really carries over to nothing in life. Actually, an overhead press is probably a better movement. Because in life, you pick something up, put it up on a shelf in your garage, overhead or whatever.
What if I go to push mat like this?
Yeah. There's a lot of times that I lay down underneath stuff and need to lift it up and set it on the shelf over my head.
Yes. Well, that's how I do everything. I don't even use. I lay down on a bed that I can raise, and then I push it up on the shelf.
I'm like, Aaron, give me this thing, and she sets it on me, and then I lift it up and I put it on the shelf.
She has to lift it out to me because I can't get out of the rack by myself. But no, and that's why just saying like stupid shit like that, and actually a deadlift is a squat and a deadlift or powerlifting. No matter what event you're doing, you're going to use those your entire life.
Yeah, I think there's missing context with it.
Well, there is, because I know what they're talking about.
Right.
Well, and then I hate it when they go, you should trap bar deadlift. And I'm sorry, and this might be contrary to a trap bar deadlift is not a deadlift. It is a squat.
Yeah, so it's much more like a squat.
Because that's why you see everybody who like, oh man, I did a trap bar deadlift with like 600. And I'm like, oh, what do you deadlift with a barbell? Oh, like 4? Okay.
I don't. It's bad for my health.
Yeah. Because first of all, most of the trap bars are like, because most of them have the higher handle.
Well, the handles up or handles down, there's a difference.
There's a major difference.
Because handles down sucks balls.
Yes. But most people do the handles up, which gives you like a 2 to 3 inch advantage.
Handles up on mats.
You get a mat advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's hex bar deadlift is a squat. You know what I mean? It's no different than doing a farmer walk. And how many people can pick up farmers with way more weight than they can squat?
I can.
Exactly.
Well, then I can deadlift.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant deadlift. Yeah. How many people, you know what I mean?
I frame deadlift a fucking metric shit ton.
So Yeah, when they're like, oh, you should only do that. No, you shouldn't just do that.
The reason why they did it is because there's a study they had studied to come out, and for like muscular development and power output, hex bar deadlift increases that.
Well, they probably don't make those kids back squat either.
I'm just saying from it, I don't even know if it was on kids. It's always on untrained adults, right? Like that's
Which are like kids, basically.
yeah, but it was just power output. So
Yeah, it's, and I don't have anything against a hex bar deadlift, but don't try to say it's the same thing as a barbell deadlift, because if you've done both, you know that it is not the fucking same. Low handles or not, it's not the same. Does not equate to the same thing.
I do find it funny because you were saying that like a half sumo is,
A modified sumo, yeah, which
Yeah.
is basically how Ed pulled.
yeah. So it cracks me up with strongman. I've said this before, but they're like, you cannot sumo deadlift. You can use straps. You can hitch.
Right.
You can have a freaking
Shelf.
seizure on the way
bounce.
up.
You can wear a
Yeah.
deadlift. You can wear a deadlift suit.
You can wear a deadlift suit. Like you can do all these things, but you can't sumo. And then you're like, oh, so what else did you do? Sandbag lifts, sumo.
Yeah.
Okay, stones, sumo. Like, everything else you fucking do,
Everything else you do, your feet are outside
you're
your hands.
sumo.
And most of the guys are almost in a modified sumo stance to get their bellies down between their legs.
Dude, watching a fat guy, like a strong fat guy, have to get ready for a deadlift is freaking awesome. There is a lot of contorting, and
Well,
the
usually
reason that bar goes up so fast is because they're fucking stuck. Like
Yeah,
they have to explode.
Well, yeah, it's no different than wearing like a deadlift suit. You have to you grab on with the one hand and use that hand to pull the other hand
Yeah.
down.
You pull your stomach into tension and then it's just go.
But yeah, and I'm not saying that I know who you should listen to on everybody, because there are some smart people out there, but listen to the smart people first. And who that list of smart people is, I mean, I would always put Dave Tate's very knowledgeable out there, obviously. Old Louis Simmons stuff is very knowledgeable. Obviously, Ed is very knowledgeable on that. Start there. Watch those three guys, and then see if the other people you watch say similar stuff. Because if they don't,
In powerlifting context. That's what you're.
Well, Louis was in kind of everything.
Yeah, even in sports comp, you know what I mean? But none of those guys are ever going to tell you that you shouldn't deadlift. You know what I mean?
No.
And Ed's just always going to be like, oh, just write down a program, try it. What are you out? You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
fine.
yeah. But because no one is doing anything new, because there's nothing new to do. There's only so many ways to squat. There's only so many. I mean, I look at all the different bars we have here. I remember when I first got in to like training, and Elite was on the up and up too, or coming up. It was like every 2 weeks there'd be a new bar out. You know what I mean? But even now, and there's a lot of cool variations, but even now, what are you going to do differently with a bar? You know what I mean? Will someone someday? Maybe. I mean, who knows? But what are you really going to change? And all the stuff that Louis got was from back in like the 50s and 60s from the Russians. Like, no one is really going to come up with something. Drugs are going to change. That's what's going to change. Once they come up with that fucking GLP with a myostatin inhibitor in it, and then you don't even have to lift weights to get muscles, like it's going to be, and then you're going to die because your heart's probably going to explode.
That's fine.
And your tendons will pop off when you try and lift something heavy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's why we still hold on to a piece of rope and do tricep extensions. How long do you think that piece of rope's been around? You know what I mean? Like fat bars, whatever. No, nobody's, if somebody acts like they just came up with something, they're a liar. They are 100% a liar. You know what I mean? Nobody's like doing some crazy new programming thing. It's all some stuff people do and it's just stupid.
Well, you know, I think what people should do is just not listen to everything someone says as gospel.
Well, it goes
Right,
back,
so
our
like-
very first podcast was the common denominator.
Yeah.
See read 20 articles, and if 15 of them are doing one thing and 5 are doing the other, follow the 15. Figure yourself out and then see if you need to adapt to the 5.
Because there are people, there's that like short little Middle Eastern dude that's like a bodybuilder. I can't remember. He like there are times where I'll listen to somebody, but like I do, but a lot of stuff they say I think's bullshit. But like they're close grip, lat pull down, but to your stomach, right? Is what this guy was talking about, and it gets like your lower. I'm like, oh. That's good. But he said a lot of other things, and I'm like, well, you're a fucking moron.
But you know where that came from, though, is a pullover machine.
Yeah.
A pullover machine does the same movement, but most people don't have a pullover machine.
Right. But there are things out.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We have 7.
Well, like
see, Matt's a liar. This is why I can't believe everything on the internet.
Like Zach and Kelly were on the seal row.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Saved by the Bell for a second.
Well, you just alienated any young listener.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
They were on the seal row, but they were like taking it instead of like straight up like a row. They were taking it like almost to like their lower rib. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh,
I like it that way.
I'm like, that's cool. Like, so it's like, oh, you can feel that lower. Like, there are things you can learn, right? There are movements.
And that's a perfect example because the seal row was like super old school and it kind of disappeared for a while. And then it came back and people were like, man, seal row. And I was like, it's like a super isolated row.
Yeah.
But I do feel like a beach seal when you're on there because you're like, you start like almost rocking because you're trying to stay on there.
You're like, your butt's squeezed super tight. You're trying to keep your feet down so you don't like.
And I put a wider bench on there. The old bench was just as narrow as the head pad. So that was a life changer. But yeah, just even the different movement. But again, no one is inventing this.
No, it just like there is information out there. The problem is that we become so culty, right? And it's like, well, if dipshit A says this is like I disagree with him, right? Then I'm going to disagree with everything he says. And if this guy says something and I like him, I'm going to agree with everything he says. So if he says to do this lift or do that, like, well, how much is listen and see which makes sense? Like, he's not always right. He's not always wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like, when a new gym opens up or some company comes around and they're making all this different equipment. Like right now, the big fad right now is all the all the row machines on guide rods and all this stuff. You know what I mean? We have to just get down in the machine. It's all on a guide rod. And I'm like, well,
like Smith machine rows.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. But no one, in my opinion, has ever done it better and probably will because they probably still have the patents than Hammer Strength.
Yeah.
Hammer Strength changed the world on their machines. And I don't think anyone's ever going to beat that. And it doesn't have to be on a guide rod. The way the loads are. I think the one that came closest to them is Prime Fitness. And how Prime does the different loading pins throughout the movement, which is the same thing as using a band because you're changing the strength curve and keeping it consistent. But yeah, all these other ones on all these guide rods and shit like that, you're actually losing out on some of the movement. You know what I mean? Not necessarily compared to a hammer machine, but if you're just doing like a barbell row. But you don't need like a hammer row and then a row on guide rods.
It's similar to I feel that these people like read a study, you know what I mean? Or see something and then super isolate something without like they lose the forest for the trees. Like they're like hammered, they're like zeroed in on one thing from one study and they kind of just hyper focus on that instead of like seeing the whole picture. And I think that's where a lot of like the new like trends or whatever come from. One study said this, they repeated it enough, other people repeated it enough, it becomes the thing that's trending, and then everyone should be doing your row like this, or everyone should be doing this like this, because this one study said it.
Are you talking about science-based lifting?
They're fucking annoying. It's not that I disagree with everything they say, it's just like, they're just like half the time I'm like, well, you're little. So like, I don't know what you get, you know what I mean? So I was watching this video, it was a like Joey Swole video, okay? And this fucking enormous black dude is doing like these super wide, super short pull-ups. Okay? Like not going up very much. And these people are making fun of him, right? They're like, this is not how you do a pull-up. So Joey's making fun of those people, right? It's like, this is not how you do a pull-up. What the fuck's this guy doing? I'm like, well, first off, he's fucking huge. Okay? He looks like he's in great shape. Instead of making fun of him, I would go, hey, why are you doing that? Like, what are you isolating? Like, because there is something he's doing, and he like, I have fucking eyes. He's in good shape. Like he doesn't need some science-based bullshit, right? He's just like, well, I feel it here when I'm doing this, and this is what I'm trying to grow. Oh, that's fucking cool. Maybe I'll try it.
Right, or I'm 340 pounds and stuff. So like, I want to see someone else do a 340 pound pull-up.
Yeah,
like that's fucking hard.
Right.
So, like. Yeah, maybe you can't do that, but you can still get like a decent pump. You still work that muscle, and really, you're getting a big stretch at the bottom anyway.
I think there's a huge place for science, right? And I think there's a huge place for results. And I think there's a huge place to say, well, you know why that works? Because he's a fucking freak. It's not going to work for me. Because there's plenty of those people out there too. Like, they're on the fringe. Like, Julius Maddox. Like, if I'm going to follow somebody on how to bench press, you would be like, oh, well, Julius Maddox benches almost 800 pounds. I think it's like 7. Julius Maddox can't tell me shit.
He also has a 72-inch chest. So.
Right. He can't tell me anything besides, I don't know, become 400 pounds. Like, I don't think he can tell me anything. Jen Thompson, right? She can tell me something. I will listen to her on bench. It doesn't mean I'm going to listen to her on everything, and then maybe I don't agree. But, like, if you're going, like the proof's in the pudding. Right, and not everything has to be 100% science based, and also understand that some people are fucking freaks that could do anything. Yeah. Like Saquon Barkley could probably do any workout he wanted, and be like, "Oh,
right. He's like, hey, I'm going to pick up a classic physique. All right, cool, you win."
Yeah, like, he's like, "What's your key?" I do sets of 100. It's like, yeah,
yeah, and that goes back to, and some of the people to listen to the most are the ones who maybe weren't the best ever, but they had to work super hard to get where they did because they know what it takes to get there.
So I'm really good at teaching people how to do muscle ups because I was really bad at it. Like I actually still have super shitty technique. I can't.
Could you do a muscle up right now?
I can do a bar muscle up right now.
Like if we walked out to here right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did one not that long ago.
Nice.
Because someone else was talking shit.
It wasn't me this time. I know it seems weird, but it wasn't me this time.
Like I do this stupid like strict thing to my chest, and then I'll like kick over. Like I have
to get one arm up. And then
I have like no fluid, but I can go through and I can help someone. Like, this is what you need to do. Well, why can't you do it? I don't fucking know why I can't do it, but I've helped 100 other people do it. But does it click up here somewhere? Like I did so much work to try and do something that I learned a lot about it, as even if I suck at it.
Yeah. There's a lot of knowledgeable people out there that aren't on the internet. Yeah, but I would start with the most knowledgeable people.
So I have pretty much got rid of, like, I am just hardly on social media at all.
It's good for everyone else.
Yeah, it is.
So much better for everybody else.
Because they're all fucking
cleaner.
People are so stupid. I don't know. Like the internet, I think social media is going. Okay, not all social media. I think that TikTok is actually going to become bigger.
Well, there's so many people I'll talk to, and they'll be like, "Hey, did you hear the news about this or this?" And I go, "That is not real at all. Where did you get like on TikTok?" I go, "That is not even fucking in the slightest bit true."
I love my father-in-law. That dude sends me shit all the time. He's like, "Hey, did you see this?" I'm like,
"Is he on TikTok?"
He's not
No,
on TikTok,
Facebook.
Facebook and stuff.
Facebook is like just right up there. Is like, that's cool.
He sends me stuff, and I'm like, "Dave, I like dogs. You like dogs. Like we both like wolves and stuff." And he's like, "Look how big this dog is." I'm like, "Dude, that wolf is at least 9 feet tall."
That's AI.
Cool. Yeah, but
So with AI, right, and fake shit and all this stuff, it's like ads that I have pretty much just stopped, because it's like you scroll through and it's just a bunch of fucking ads. Someone posts some fucking stupid AI video, so you're like, and their AI is getting good, so you're like, well, is this real? So you just assume everything's fake, right? And once you start assuming that everything's fake, there's no point in looking at it anymore.
Well, and it's just so many. It's like the weirdest ads too. Like it'll be like, "Oh, NFL legend dies," and it'll show like a picture of like some 27-year-old player, and then you're like, "What?" But then if I'm like really like wondering, I'll just go to like ESPN and see. I never click on the link though.
No,
that's good.
So after every football game, like last year, it was like, well, it was after the game, 3 refs are like suspended because they were tied into some cheating scheme, right? And it's like this whole article, but it's the same article depending on what team you follow or hate. So it'll say Nebraska, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Like, and they just changed that. Like, it's like they went through and like just replaced like every Nebraska with Ohio State and then repost the same fucking article. So it's all like, and then you're like, that's not fucking real. But once again, once everything becomes fake or you don't trust it, you quit watching. I mean, CNN, right? MSNBC, even Fox. Like, people have just quit because like, well, I can't believe, like, I have to research everything you tell me.
Right. You're no longer giving me information. You're giving me opinion. And now I have to go like try to figure out.
I have to go find whether it's real or not. So like, I have to go find. And what's kind of shitty is I found like this old video that was fucking hilarious with a bull and a bighorn sheep like ramming into each other. But it was from like 12 years ago. It was posted on YouTube. I'm like, well, that's real, but that can't be AI. But like, my first instinct is like, this is fake.
Yeah.
But it was fucking badass, dude. That fucking bull was knocked the fuck out.
That bighorn's like up on his hind legs and come down.
He just boom.
The funny one now is where that guy's like working on his fence and that goat or whatever just rams him and it's all AI, but it's just super funny.
Oh yeah, it's like he's like day whatever 14 trying to show who's the boss.
And then he's like doing something by the fence and the thing just runs through him.
But it's like when everything becomes fake and I just don't know, I'm not being. It's only entertaining when it's real. Like an AI video of a dude getting rammed by a goat is not funny.
It was.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that one was funny.
Well, but if it's not real, but if it's real, it's funny.
Cartoons are funny.
Because cartoons are real.
Also true.
I do have a stupid question for you. Okay, so if there's like a lot going on, right? Like a shit ton going on around you, what? Like, give me a word that would describe that. You are like over.
Are you talking like overstimulated?
Or overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Right? And then if something's really lame or just like whatever, you're underwhelmed. When are you whelmed? And where the fuck did this come from? Because there's no whelmed.
You don't ever look it up, but we have like.
There's no. I don't look. I just like to hang out my head. And make
I like to
fun.
find
I'd stay away from there.
Because one of my clients, we always look up like old sayings, like where they came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
But is
the one that's really not right is the jack of all trades one.
I'm the one that told you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's not really right how it's said.
No, it is a jack of all trades and a master of none, and that's what we took from it.
Yes.
Right. Is usually worse than a master of one. Yeah. Or sorry, a jack of all trades and a master of none is usually better than a master of one. That's what it's supposed to be. You should be a jack of all trades. You shouldn't just be an expert.
Yeah.
And there's a book, Range, that's really good. That kind of talks about that. That talks about experts. So here's the thing: experts are super important. We need experts, right? But we also need people who can tie shit in. And when you're an expert at something, you tend to not have as much like other information because you have to be. Once again, you only have so many buckets of energy, right? You only have so much time to learn something. So if you're going to be hyper focused on learning something and being an expert, the chances of you learning other random shit are like slim to none. It was in that book there was an oil spill in Alaska, and when they were trying to extract the oil because of the cold and other things, it was like jamming up, so they couldn't get it out. And well, the guy who figured it out, he was smart. He was obviously there for a reason, but he had done concrete work, and he said he was really bad at it. But he had done concrete work when he was growing up, and they were talking about like when concrete starts to stiffen, like you have to like rattle it, right? They had like a thing on there to rattle it and keep it moving. And he was like really shitty at everything, so he was like the rattler. Right? So that was his idea, was to rattle it to keep it moving so it wouldn't clog, and that's how they started extracting this oil out. Right? So it's just some random thing from something completely disconnected. Those are where people become like problem solvers, but you have to have experts to be able to ask questions of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know it can be hard to figure out who the expert is, but start in the beginning. Like we said, you could look at like Ed, Louie, Dave Tate.
Well,
and then people, if someone they talk about is probably someone who's good.
So the thing is that
Usually.
like in there, in just those three, right? You have like Louis, who you could tell just wanted to learn. He just wanted to learn as much as he could about everything to do with muscle strength and everything else. He was a freaking like a nerd, right?
He was a savant of what he did.
Right. Then you have someone like Ed, who was the greatest of his field, right?
And,
like,
and genetically built for it, and he'll tell you that.
yeah, but he was great. And then you have someone like Dave, who is kind of mentored by greats,
Yeah.
right, and has enough humility, and he's humble enough and smart enough to like put some different things together. So that's the type of people you're looking for, right? Unfortunately, the type of people that end up on the internet, right, are the people who take something from there and go fucking psycho with it, and they are performance. They have to perform for the internet, just like Liver King. Like Liver King actually said a lot of smart shit, but he had to do it in a psychotic way to get the following. If you just would have said normal, if you would have said a lot of the stuff, hey, you should get outside, you should have this much sunlight, and you should, eat some raw organ. What, like, if you would have said it without being crazy, he would never have been famous.
Yeah.
Truth.
Yes. And like I said, you don't have to be the best at something to be very knowledgeable on it.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on the internet heroes out there.
You should feel free to use the word whelmed. It's an actual word.
And
But it doesn't mean like I'm just chill.
Whelmed originally means like submerged, buried, or overcome.
Right.
So, but then overwhelmed means like extremely submerged. So like whelmed would be more akin to how we use the term overwhelmed.
Right.
And you can say underwhelmed. That one's there.
But it's just.
But people don't use the word whelmed. But there is no like, I'm adequately buoyant.
I think that's why we switched to this is like super gay. It was easier for people to understand.
Yeah. Just simplified it.
Yeah. All right, guys, got anything else?
Yeah, there's also disgruntled, unkept, and inept. Or
Inept
also-
is great because you're calling somebody inept is like, you know what else I like to do is call somebody a dummy.
You do.
Calling somebody a dummy is a good one.
I wonder what gruntled means.
Gruntled.
Yeah.
It's just English. I was wondering which one of you two that was. I thought it was Matt, but then you would have said something, and he acted like nothing happened.
It happens.
The English
circle of
language.
life.
Have you ever like seen that guy who is like going through? He's like, it's like the pronunciation of words.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so if this is that, then this is, and they say,
Oh, yeah.
He's like, no.
No,
what was
it's
that
not.
comedian, Gallagher, who smashed the
Yeah.
watermelons. Like, he has a whole thing with
Yeah.
going through that.
It's like-
he's like, bomb. So, and then he swifts it out, and then it spells tomb. And
Tomb.
he's like, Tom, no, tomb.
yeah.
Yeah, and then calm. Nope, it's comb. All right, people, go out there, educate yourself. If you don't know, ask people who know.
And honestly, if you just fucking lift, you'll get better. Just don't
Yeah.
do dumb shit. Like, don't hurt yourself. But if you don't hurt yourself and you don't put yourself in a super shitty position, you're probably going to get better.
And you get stronger and better. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
And a hex bar deadlift is not the same as a barbell deadlift.
it is definitely not.
No.
But it can be more fun with the handles up because you can lift more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then just do rack pulls with the barbell.
That's also fun because you can lift more weight.
Yeah. Just why you should leg press and not back squat.
That's not true. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, share, follow. We appreciate listening. We'll see you next time.